Bears fans? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a packed episode today full of updates and evaluations that you don't want to miss. The draft may be behind us, but the action hasn't stopped. In fact, things are just heating up. With rookie minicamps underway and undrafted free agents starting to prove their worth, it's time to break down the names, the notes, and the nuances behind each edition. We're diving deep into the newest signings, fresh tryouts, and what they could mean for the Bears' future roster. So grab a seat and let's get into it. Now, we've already covered the initial wave of undrafted signings and rookie invites right after the draft, but since then the Bears have added more names, made another signing, and extended several new tryouts. And even though we're in that slightly quieter phase after the draft, the content keeps coming. Still, there are moments when we look ahead, wondering what kind of topics you'd like to see on this channel. So if you've got ideas, drop them in the comments. And if you see a comment you like, hit that thumbs up. The one with the most likes might just turn into our next video sometime between now and the start of next week. This is your chance to help shape the content, so don't hold back. Alright, let's talk about these player evaluations. We're starting off with a name that definitely jumps off the page. Major Burns. Yeah, that name alone makes you look twice. But all jokes aside, this guy has game. He gets an A grade from me. He played multiple seasons as a safety in the Southeastern Conference, and that's no small feat. His 2023 season in particular was his most productive yet. Coming out of the SEC, he brings not just experience, but proven performance from one of the toughest conferences in college football. Now, safety is a bit of a puzzle piece for the Bears. There's some stability if certain guys stay healthy, but let's be honest, when age and concussion history start to enter the picture, the room gets a bit shaky. Adding someone like Burns into the mix could be a savvy move. He's not just a warm body for training camp, he's a serious candidate to fight for a roster spot. His pre-draft testing numbers were impressive across the board. He excelled in short area burst drills, held his own in the 40-yard dash, and has the physical profile you want at over 6 feet tall and 207 pounds. That size-speed combo is valuable, especially in a league that's constantly looking for versatile defensive backs. He's someone we'll be watching closely when rookie camp kicks off. Next up, we've got Power Echols. Yeah, the name's cool, but unfortunately, the grade isn't. He's getting a C from me. This guy's college career was solid, but when it comes to size and athletic testing, he just didn't hit the marks. He's smaller than what you'd hope for, and his athletic metrics were underwhelming. And that's a tough combination to overcome no matter the position. It's not that he can't play, it's just that the physical tools didn't show up where they needed to. And when you compare him to other prospects with similar builds who did post strong athletic results, the gap becomes even more clear. That said, you never know what someone will do once they step onto the field. Maybe he proves the doubters wrong, but right now the odds are stacked against him. Moving on, let's talk about another wide receiver prospect who earned an A- in my book. There might be a bit of bias based on the school he came from and what we've seen from him before, but he brings some legitimate upside to the team. The current depth chart for reserve slot receivers is a bit murky. One guy on the roster, right, now plays more than just the backup role. And though the team did draft another receiver, this particular prospect has a different skill set that could really shine in certain packages. He's not just a slot option, he's also got value as a return man. His testing numbers were solid, and any concerns around his profile are mostly tied to height and weight. But when you look at what he did in agility drills and how dependable his hands are, you can see the potential. He ran the 40 in just over 4.5 seconds and showed great quickness in short spaces. That's the kind of stuff you look for in a return specialist or a gadget player who can sneak into the rotation. And here's the thing, he might not make the 53-man roster right away, but he's definitely a candidate for the practice squad. If there's an injury to one of the returners or a need for someone who knows the system, he could get called up. And if he sticks around, he could be fighting for a real roster spot next season. He's the kind of guy that fans might overlook now, but could end up being a pleasant surprise down the line. Now, let's switch it up and talk about a long snapper. Look, I get it, not the flashiest topic, but hey, every position matters. Evaluating a long snapper is tough because it's such a specialized role. Still, the Bears did bring in someone to compete during rookie minicamp. Remember, they signed a long snapper last year after trying out a few options, so this new guy might get a similar shot. It's not easy to keep up with long snapper competition unless you're really paying attention to every snap in camp, but it's worth noting that the team needs someone to fill that role in these early practices. Whether he sticks around for the 90-man roster or not, we'll keep an eye on it. Now, for those rooting for the rookies, especially if you've got a favorite already, you might want to grab a jersey. One of the players has already been assigned, number 84, and his jersey is available for pre-order online. Sure, it might take a little while to print and ship, but this is your chance to lock it in early and support a potential future Bear. Let's talk special teams again, because the Bears brought in a kicker with a cannon for a leg. This guy hit a 58-yard field goal 2 years ago and knocked down a 55-yarder last season. Physically, he's a big guy, over 6 feet tall and around 226 pounds. When someone that size kicks the ball, you expect some power behind it, and he delivers. For comparison, the current kicker on the roster is about 5 feet 8 inches, so yeah, there's a noticeable size difference. This new kicker could bring something extra to the table, especially when it comes to distance. The big question is consistency. He went 19 for 21 on field goals, which is solid, but missed a few extra points. That's something to keep an eye on. Still, bringing in a powerful leg to training camp is never a bad idea. Even if the current starter holds on to the job, this new kicker could earn a spot on the practice squad and grow into a bigger role later. There are always questions about whether a guy can be reliable at the NFL level, but he's got the tools. To make it interesting, let's circle back to wide receivers for a moment. There's another name in the mix, someone out of Texas A&M. He didn't have a great season in 2023, but his 2022 campaign was much more productive. Physically, he's got traits you can't teach. He stands just under 6'3" and weighs around 205 pounds. He's got decent straight line speed and comes with plenty of SEC experience. His testing numbers were solid, including a relative athletic score over 8 out of 10, which puts him in the upper tier of prospects athletically. He may not be an instant contributor, but as a developmental outside receiver, there's real intrigue here. He's most likely a practice squad guy for now, but we'll be tracking his progress closely. Now, let's talk about someone who earned the highest grade of the bunch, an A+. This guy has the size, the production, and the athletic profile. That makes scouts excited. Standing at 6'6" and weighing around 275 pounds, he racked up 9 sacks and 11 tackles for loss last season. He's a versatile defensive lineman who could rush off the edge or move inside depending on the package. The only knock might be his bench press numbers. You'd hope for a bit more strength for his size, but technique-wise, he knows how to get to the quarterback. His long arms and big frame make him a real weapon, especially for a team like the Bears that's still looking for consistent edge production. There's definitely a sense of excitement around all the additions the Bears have made, and longtime followers of the channel might consider subscribing if you haven't already. It's totally free, and if you're unsure, just set a reminder for a week from now. If you're not feeling the content, unsubscribing is easy and painless. No pressure, just an invitation to stay connected as we continue covering everything related to your Chicago Bears. Now, let's move on to a safety from Oregon. This one gets a C grade. He lacks the athleticism you'd hope for, and his size raises red flags. It's a tough combo that puts him in a difficult spot. Maybe he finds a role as a nickel corner, but he doesn't have the speed you'd want in that position either. Still, he did have some production. 3 interceptions and 3 pass breakups last season. Maybe he earns a spot on special teams, but it would be a surprise to see him stick long term. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a shocking turn of events, wide receiver Justin Jefferson has made a high-profile move from the Minnesota Vikings to the Chicago Bears, marking one of the most unexpected trades in recent NFL history. The news has sent waves of surprise through the league, particularly in Minnesota, where Jefferson was seen as the centerpiece of the Vikings' offense for the foreseeable future. With Jefferson now donning the navy blue and orange of the Bears, his departure has ignited strong reactions, particularly from Vikings fans and management, who feel betrayed by their star receiver's sudden decision to leave. Jefferson, who had established himself as one of the league's top receivers since his rookie season, has been an absolute force on the field. His ability to make incredible catches, stretch the field, and serve as a reliable target for the Vikings quarterbacks made him the cornerstone of the team's offensive strategy. His departure leaves a gaping hole in the Vikings' receiving corps, one that won't easily be filled. The Bears, on the other hand, now have a dynamic playmaker that could completely reshape their offense, providing quarterback Justin Fields with the elite weapon he needs to elevate his game to new heights. For Chicago, this trade signals a bold new direction. Jefferson's presence in the Windy City is expected to provide an immediate boost to their struggling offense. With a combination of Fields' mobility and Jefferson's incredible talent at wide receiver, the Bears now have the potential to build a potent aerial attack, something they've been missing for years. Jefferson's addition could be the missing piece that finally allows the Bears to contend in a competitive NFC North. On the other side, the Vikings' feelings of betrayal are understandable. Just a few months ago, the idea of Jefferson wearing any other uniform was almost unthinkable. Minnesota had hoped to build around their superstar receiver, locking him into a long-term contract and making him the face of the franchise. However, Jefferson's unexpected move to a division rival has left many feeling as though they've been blindsided. Fans and pundits alike are now questioning the management's ability to retain their stars and build a championship contender, especially in a division where the Bears have now gained a major advantage. As the dust settles, all eyes will be on both teams to see how this dramatic trade unfolds. For the Bears, the hope is that Jefferson will be the catalyst for a new era of success, while for the Vikings, the challenge now lies in rebuilding their offense and moving forward without their once-in-a-generation receiver. This trade has undoubtedly shaken up the NFC North, and it will be fascinating to see how both teams navigate the fallout in the seasons to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.